Good morning, Forex traders. Welcome to another trading week. Good to have you here. Another edition of Forex Watch. Now, if you watched last week's, you'll know the format. Look at some currency strength tools, filter out some trade opportunities, then look at them in the Renko charts to see, what's hot, what's not, what could be moving. Give you some trade ideas for the week ahead. We've also got a lot of other live streams this week. If you are subscribed to the channel, hit that bell button, then you'll be getting notified of. We got gold at about 11:30 this morning UK time. Then the S&P 500. Look at that one at 1 p.m. today. Then we've got a whole load of other live stream market analysis events on Tuesday and Wednesday. Like I said, check out the YouTube channel at the Stop Hunter to find out more. So let's get into the FX trading world to start with, and let's have a look at the calendar. I think we're going to start at the calendar, so just to see if there's any major events going on this week that we need to be aware of. And actually looking at the calendar here, looking quite well in terms of FX world, reasonably smooth. Last week, very jumpy with all those interest rate decisions, some inflation data, all keeping us on our toes. But this week, looking down that list, not so bad. You got Wednesday, Australian CPI. You got German business climate that was out already by look of that. Didn't really do much there. What else have we got later in the week? Trying to find anything of significance. Maybe Thursday, 1:30, final GDP for the US, unemployment claims. And then Friday, Canadian GDP. We've got the Chinese on the bank holiday. But really, nothing too much to worry about there. So for me, that's looking a much smoother week for the FX world. So let's now move into the currency strength index. There we go. Let's just let that settle in for a bit. Let's pull it out so we can see what's going on. And there we go. Something like that. Right, so what's happening here? We got about a year, well, back to the start of the year 2023. We can see I've created baskets of currencies, baskets of strength currencies by the individual country. So you've got the Mexican peso up the top there, looking particularly strong. Just like this as a look to see generally what's trending in terms of the individual currencies, because it is, a key determinant of where these guys are moving next. Understanding the strength of each individual currency is important when you're trying to match up the pairs. You want to put the strong and the weak together to give you the maximum bang for your buck in your trade. So looking at this lot, we got Mexican peso strongest in the longer term, and right down the bottom got a collection of Japanese yen, which has been there for a while. The light blue line there is the Norwegian kroner, and then the purple line tracking that a bit, the South African rand. Those two I would call them more commodity based currencies. And anything else significantly happening? Well, the green line in the middle is the US dollar. You can see it's been climbing since mid-July. Other than that, we've got maybe a bit of weakness in the Swiss franc. The rest looking not too exciting at the moment. But that's, like I said, a longer term look. We need to focus more in for the short term for this week ahead. So what I do, go to the Renko charts. I've created those baskets, as you can see, they're up in the top right hand corner. Now I color code them for green bullish, red bearish, yellow neutral. And my trading day over here in the UK for Forex World starts about 6:45. I like to get in and have a look, and that's what I marked up first thing this morning. But we're going to revisit just in case anything has changed. So we're going to start with the dollar, and I just use DXY as the default there. It's a good basket approximation of what's going on there. I don't need to build an individual basket for that one. And as you can see, to me, looking still quite strong and pushing on upwards, creating new blocks there this morning, trading above its stochastic and the longer term moving average. So that's staying green there. Australian dollar looking like it's heading south at the moment. I'll keep that red. Canadian dollar, yep, staying bullish. You can see there, pushing on up new blocks above the moving average, above the stochastic. Swiss franc, what are you up to? Pulling back towards that moving average, below the stochastic. So it is short-term weak, so something to look at, but I really like to see it below that moving average before I give it a full bearishness. So I'm going to go neutral there on the Swiss franc. Euro, what's happening there? Where it's below that moving average and it's sort of consolidating there. Slight change from what I first marked it at. I'm going to go maybe more neutral there for the euro. Japanese yen, as we saw from the last chart, staying consistently weak and still looking to me like it is remaining that way. So red there for JPY. The pound, again, below that average, you can see there, new blocks below the stochastics. Yep, bearish, red. New Zealand dollar. And by the way, these are the currencies that I trade. You can do the same thing for yourself to create other baskets. You know, you might want to trade Swedish krona or, you know, whatever currency is, Brazilian real, whatever takes your fancy. You can do the same sort of process, but this is the ones I look at to create my pairs. New Zealand dollar, right on that moving average. It's above, I'll call it probably weak bullish to neutral, so I'm going to keep it neutral. South African rand, you saw it at the bottom in the longer term, but shorter term wise, starting to push up. It was a bit stronger this morning, looking a bit weaker. I'm going to neutralize that one out at the moment. Norwegian krona, again picking up this morning in strength above the stochastic but below the moving average, so neutral there. Mexican peso to round up our analysis, heading back towards that moving average, so a bit of weakness this morning above the stochastic though, so again neutral. So that basically left us with those weak ones: Australian dollar, Japanese yen, GBP, and to the upside we've got the dollar, Canadian dollar, and that's pretty much it. So that's what we want to look at in terms of our trade ideas. So we're going to now go to standard Renko setup. You might be familiar with this with some of the other videos that I do. Actually, let's stay with what we've got on the screen there. GBP US dollar, that's our first one. Let's just draw on some Fibonacci's. Trading at the lows. Where could it be heading down to next in terms of target wise? We're talking 1.19, so just under that 2, then 1.184. That's if you can break down. There's nothing sort of in this space of trading wise. It's below that moving average, longer term moving average, below my Darvas box breakout setup as well. Trend is down, stochastics down, so short GBP USD looking like it could still continue there. If you're looking for where it could, you know, possibly bounce from it to, I would suggest looking at that Darvas box / Fibonacci area, 1.24184 as potential rebound. You might put your stop below, you know, just above that if you're thinking longer term, a bit more conservative, a bit more aggressive, maybe the other side of this Donchian band breakout there, that sort of purplish line that you can see. Let me just zoom in a bit there so you might see it a bit better. Just there. Let's get that out. So yeah, like I say, it's this area now, which it's creating, looking for that move down into this zone. Let me just see, pull back if we have got any previous history there. We're pulling it back a long way. There we go. Let's just pull out the Fibonacci just a bit longer, just see if there's anything significant. And by the powers of Fibonacci, we've got this one here looking like the real low, marrying in with that 1.185 sort of area, and this 1.19 with all that noise through there. So if it does slip, it could slip quite easily down to this zone. So that's the pound against the dollar. What else did we have? Well, we had Canada looking quite strong, and one of my favorite pair combinations that I like to trade is the CADJPY. So let's find that one. You see, we looked at that last week. Let me just remove all that and start fresh. Let's pull it in so we can see a bit better. Again, you can see obvious uptrend there. Let's put on the Fibonacci's, go to that low back there in July. We've got this double top playing out at the moment, just there. If it can get through that, what are we talking upside wise? 111.8, 112.6 to the upside. We can still see that Japanese yen's weak, and we had that good momentum in the Canadian dollar. A retracement back, maybe creating this sort of double top pattern. Let me just play out the Fibonacci a bit more as well. You can see that marries nicely in with that one, and that would take us back down to this sort of breakout zone where it shot on up, which marries roughly in with the 61.8% Fibonacci line, which is a key number, 108.06. So that could be that double top formation pattern if it does turn weak. But at the moment, we're looking bullish, and it's all the signs are there. It's still bullish, just waiting for it to break that double top, I say, to move on up. So that was CADJPY. I'm going to have a look now at another US-based pair. Let's go to the Australian dollar, US dollar. Now that had an interesting bounce off of its long-term average, just turning back bullish again, crossing over that stochastic. Looking like an interesting trade, that one at the moment, to the downside. Let's put on the Fibonacci's, see where it could be heading to. Go to those lows, where that double bottom low there before it bounced up also almost touched it there as well. So that looks like an interesting number. The 0.63 was it 0.63686 sort of area down there. Let's just actually do that the other way around for the Fibonacci, so we can get some downside action in there, because that's what we're looking for on this trade, some downside movement. And what have we got? So next zones, next potential targets, we're talking 0.622, 0.615, and if you're talking stop loss area, maybe here 0.648, the other side of that moving average, and the Fibonacci line there. But that's another one looking quite weak. Let's do one more for the show this morning. I think I'm going to look at another CAD play. Let's look at GBPCAD. Now, normally you put the GBP first in this combination. So because of that, we know the pound is weak. Let's remove those drawings. We know the pound, and it looks particularly weak against that Canadian dollar. And this one we looked at last week as well, and you can see it did continue. We called it right. We had that double top in on there. Another sort of close touch there. Let's just pull it back, see if anything exciting is happening in line with those Fibonacci's. Let's again we'll drag it out a bit. There we go. Over into that noise. And like I said, it's showing me that, you know, if it does fall further, we've got this big block of noise over here. We've got this 1, 2, 3, 4 touches there, which is around about this 1.6145 Fibonacci line. So we could see it quickly move to 1.626 and then down into there. It's got the momentum for it. Some serious momentum on that pair there. DMI down, stochastic down. Where do you want to put your stop? Well, you could be aggressive and go the other side of, like I said, the donkey and break, or the other side of that Fibonacci line, 1.665 or 1.6579. But yeah, that looks still weak. So that is 4 trades for the week ahead. Obviously, you know, you can construct this sort of thing yourself and come up with your own combinations. Check different time zones, different block sizes, depending on your risk appetite, your trading plan. You know, use and, you know, utilize what you've seen here in your own world. Quite easy to set up, and you can find out how to do that on the YouTube channel at the Stop Hunter. So, you know, hit that subscribe button, you know, hit the bell button for those notifications to come. And if you've liked today's show, please give us the thumbs up. And like I said, 11:30 today, we've got gold and silver watch. 1 p.m. we've got a look at the S&P. So hoping that you will join me there later today for that analysis. But that's the Forex watch for the week ahead concluded for today. And if you're just following me on the Forex path, then I hope to see you again soon next Monday. If you're watching me on the other stuff, then I'll probably bump into you in a few hours' time. Thank you again.